read the Winnie the Pooh. Let's start reading Winnie the Pooh. Chapter 1. We're introduced to Winnie the Pooh and some ways, and the stories begin. Here is Edward Bear coming downstairs now. Bump, bump, bump. On the back of his head behind Christopher Robin. It is as far as he knows, the only way of coming downstairs. But sometimes he feels that there really is another way. If only he could stop bumping for a moment and think of it. And then he feels that perhaps there isn't. Anyhow, here he is at the bottom and ready to be introduced to you. Winnie the Pooh. When I first heard his names, I said, just as you had always going to say, but I thought he was a boy. So did I, said Christopher Robin. Then you can call him Winnie. I don't. But you said, it's Winnie the Pooh. Don't you know what that means? Ah, yes, now I do, I said quickly. And I hope you do, because it is all the explanation you are going to get. Sometimes Winnie the Pooh likes a game of some sort when he comes downstairs, and sometimes he likes to sit quietly in front of the fire and listen to a story. This evening, what about the story? Said Christopher Robin. What about the story? I said. Could you very sweetly tell Winnie the Pooh one? I suppose I could, I said. What sort of stories does he like? About himself, because he's that sort of bear. Oh, I see. So, could you very sweetly? I would try, I said. So I tried. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, now about last Friday, Winnie the Pooh lived in a forest all by himself under the name of Sanders. What does the name mean? Asked Christopher Robin. A massive had the name over the store is gold letters, and he lived under it. Winnie the Pooh wasn't quite sure, said Christopher Robin. Now I am, said the rooibos. Then I'll go on, said I. One day, when he was out walking, he came to an open place in the middle of the forest, and in the middle of his place was a large oak tree. And from the top of the tree, there came a loud buzzing noise. Winnie the Pooh sat down at the foot of the tree, put his head between his paws, and began studying. First of all, he said to himself, the buzzing noise means something. You don't get a buzzing noise like that, just buzzing and buzzing. Without this means something. Instead of buzzing noise, somebody's making a buzzing noise. And the only reason of making in a buzzing noise, and that I know of it, is because you are a bee. Then he thought another long time and said, and the only reason of us being a bee, that I know of, is making honey. And then he got up at this and said, and the only reason for making honey is so as I can eat it. So he began to climb the tree. Climbed and he climbed and he climbed and he climbed. He sang a little song to himself, one like this. Isn't it funny how a bell likes honey? Buzz, 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 I wonder why it does. And he climbed a little further and a little further and just a little further. By that time he had started first another song. It was a very funny thought that the bells were the bees, and they built their nests at the bottom of trees. And the bees, so if the bees were bears, we shouldn't have to climb up our stairs. He was getting rather tired for this time, so that is why he sang a complaining song. He was nearly there now, and if he just stood on the branch, crack! Oh, how Pooh as it drops his feet on the branch below him. If only I hadn't, he said, and he bounced 20 feet on the next branch. You see what I mean to do, he explained, as he returned south over hills and crashed onto another branch 30 feet below. What I mean to do, of course it was rather, he admitted, as he slid very quickly through the next 6 branches. Here comes, I suppose, he decided, as he said goodbye to the last branch, spun around 3 times, and flew gracefully into a gorse bush. It was chaos of linking honey so much. Oh, help! He crawled out of the coarse brush, brushed the pickles from his nose, and began to think again. And the first person he thought of was Christopher Robin. "Was that me?" said the Christopher Robin in a nervous voice, hardly daring to believe it. "That was you." Christopher Robin said nothing, but his eyes got larger and larger, and his face got pinker and pinker. So Winnie the Pooh went round to his friend Christopher Robin, who lived behind the green doors in another part of the forest. "Good morning, Christopher Robin," he said. "Good morning, Winnie the Pooh," said you. "I wonder if there's such a thing as a balloon about you." "A balloon? Yes, I just said to myself coming along. It's one. Christopher Robin has such a thing as a balloon about him. I just said it to myself, thinking of balloons and wondering. What do you say on the balloon for?" you said. Winnie the Pooh looked around to see that nobody was listening, but he spat to his mouth and said in a deep whisper, "Honey." "But you kids get honey with balloons." "I do," said Pooh. "Well, it just happened that you have been to a party the day before at the house of your friend Piglet, and you had balloons at this party. You had been a very expert green balloon, and one of Rabbit's relations had a big blue one and had left it behind, being really too young to go a party at all. And so you had brought the green one and had the blue one come home with you." Which one would you like?" "Yes," asked Pooh. He put his hands between his paws and thought very carefully. "It's like this," he said. "When you go off after honey with a balloon, the great thing is not to let the bees know you're coming. Now, if you have a green balloon, they might think you are the only part of the tree and not notice you. And if you have a blue balloon, they might think you are only part of the sky and not notice you. And the question is, which is most likely?" "Would you notice you underneath the balloon?" you asked. They might not," said Winnie the Pooh. "You never can tell his space." He thought for a moment and said, "I should try to look so like a small black cloud that would so despise them." "Then you had better have the blue balloon," says you. And so it was decided. "Well, you both went out with the blue balloon, and you took the gun with you, just in case, as you all was this." And Winnie the Pooh went to a very muddy place that he knew of, and rode until there was black all over, and that when the balloon was blown as big, and you and Pooh were both holding on the string. You let go suddenly, and Pooh floated gracefully off into the sky, and stayed there, level with the top of the tree, and about 20 feet away from it. "Hooray!" you shouted. "Isn't it fine?" shouted Winnie the Pooh down to you. "What do you like? What do I look like?" "You look like a bell holding onto the balloons." You said, "Not," said Pooh anxiously. "Not like a small black cloud in the blue sky. Not very much. Oh well, perhaps from up here it looks different. And as I say, you never can tell his face." There was no wind to blow his near to the tree, and so they stayed. He could see the honey, he could smell the honey, but he couldn't quite reach the honey. After a little while, he called down to you. "Christopher Robin," he said in a loud whisper. "Hello! I think the birds suspect something. What sort of things? I don't know, but something tells me that they were suspicious. Perhaps they think that you are after serve honey. It might mean that you never can sell this piece." There is another little silence, and then he calls down to you again. "Christopher Robin?" "Yes." "Have you an umbrella in your house?" "I think so." "I wish would bring it out here and walk up and around with it, and look at me and every now and then and say that it looks like rain. I think if you would, it would tell us the suspicions which we all practicing on this piece." "Well, you laughed to yourself. Silly old spells, but you didn't say it aloud because you were so fond of him, and you once from aloud because you once You went home for your umbrella? Oh, there you are, called Winnie the Pooh as soon as you got back to the street. I was beginning to get anxious. I have discovered that the trees are not definitely suspicious. Shall I put my umbrella up? You said. Yes, but wait a moment. We must be practical. The important bee to deceive the queen bee. Can you see which is the queen bee from down there? No. A pity. Well, now, if you walk up and down with your umbrella saying, "Choo choo, it looks like a rain," I showed you what I can't be singing like a slow song, such as the clouds might sing, "Go!" So while you walk up and down and wonder if it would rain, Winnie the Pooh sang his songs. How sweet to be clouds floating in the blue, every little cloud always singing so loud. How sweet to be a cloud floating in the blue. It makes me very proud to be a little clouds. Those beings were still buzzing suspiciously at the apple. Some of them, indeed, left the nest and flew all around the cloud as it began the second burst of the songs, and one beast down on the nose of the crowd for a moment, and then got up again. "Christopher, Robby!" called out the crowd. "Yes, I have just been thinking, and I have so much a very important decision. There's not the wrong sort of bees. Or they quite alone so I should think they would make the wrong sort of the honey, shouldn't you? Would they? So yes, so I think I shall keep down." "How?" asked you. Winnie the Pooh had thought about this. If he let go of the string, he would fall, bump, and he didn't like the idea of that. So he thought for a long time, and then he said, "Christopher Robin, you must shoot the balloon with a gun. Have I got yours done?" "Of course I have," you said. "But if I do that, it will spoil the balloon," he said. "But if you don't," said Pooh, "I shall have to let go, and that will spoil me." When you put it like this, you saw how it was, and you aimed very carefully at the balloon and fired. "Oh!" said Pooh. "Did I miss?" you asked. "You didn't exactly miss," said Pooh, "but you missed the balloon." "I'm so sorry," he said, and fired again. And this time you hit the balloon, and the air came slowly out, and the Winnie the Pooh slowly down to the ground. But this house was so stiff from holding onto the string of the balloon all this time that there stayed straight in the air for more than a week. And when a bit of lice came and settled on his nose, he had to blow it off. And I think, but I am not sure, that is why he was always called Pooh. "The end of the story?" asked Christopher Robin. "That's the end of that one. There are others, about Pooh and me, and Piglet and Rabbit and all of you. Don't you remember?" "I do remember, but then when I tried to remember, I forgot. That day when Pooh and Piglet tried to catch the howler. They didn't catch it, did they?" "No, Pooh couldn't, because he hasn't any brain." "Did I catch it?" "Well, that comes into the story." Christopher Robin nodded. "I do remember," he said. "Only Pooh does it very well, so that's why he likes having it called this again, because that isn't the real story, and that's just the remember thing." "That's just how I felt," I said. Christopher Robin gave a deep sigh, picked his bear by the rag, and walked off to the door, straining Pooh behind him. At the door he paused and said, "Coming to see me have my bus?" I said. "I didn't hurt him when I shot him, did I?" "Not a bit." He nodded and went out, and in a moment I had Winnie the Pooh, bum, 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 going up the stairs behind him. Pooh goes visiting and gets into a nice place. Please enjoy my video and please be my subscribers. Thank you.